I've been waiting 8 years to play Hytale, and today I'm going to see how far I can get in 100 days. My goals are simple. First, reach the maximum possible armor tier. Second, build a cozy farm and permanent base. And third, hunt down the dragon from the Hytale tree. But this isn't gonna be easy. Ah! Oh crap! Frick! Oh, no! Frickin' die! Oh! Launching Hytale for the very first time felt surreal. I picked some cool green hair, a spiffy monocle, and felt legitimately overwhelmed. Regardless, I feel pretty good about my final outfit. It's time to make my first Hytale world. I left the settings at default, named it Keftin, and began generating my new world. Day 1 begins by spawning at the first gate of the Echo in Zone 1, the Emerald Wild. To confirm that I wasn't dreaming, the very first action I took was to break a block of dirt. I stole this candle so I could see a little better, and I opened my inventory for the very first time to put the candle in my offhand slot. I exit the cave to get my very first glimpse of Hytale. I'd like to come back to this place at some point, and luckily the map marks the spawn for you. Out in the world, I picked up some rubble on the ground, destroyed some plants for their fibers and sticks, and crafted a hatchet. I grabbed some more rubble and used it to craft my very first stone pickaxe. And pretty soon, I had made my first discovery in Hytale. Oh, hey, what's this? Okay, we got some daggers, some iron ore, some wild berries. It's early in the game, we're gonna go ahead and take the chest. But this is definitely a mine shaft. I continued exploring the mine shaft until this happened. Oh, crap. Crap! Okay, I killed my first enemy. Oh, my health is so low. Right now, I need to set up, actually set up camp somewhere. Oh, crud. Okay, so clearly mobs can spawn wherever, and now I'm fighting a freaking spider in Hytale. That's just lovely. I just found my very first copper ore of the playthrough. I also need some light hide, so I chased down this bunny. I need some light hide. You come here and let me kill you. Yep, it gave me light hide, but that felt evil. I hated doing that. I hated doing that so much. Unfortunately, that is the first of many cute animals I'll have to kill for this playthrough. I take a quick dip in the river before killing a fish for food. Oh my word, what's attacking me? What's happening? Oh, I was drowning. Okay, so that one may have been a little bit my fault. I came across this archer's tower and killed its inhabitant. Oh hey, this is actually not a bad spot to go ahead and set up camp for now. I used the bed here to go ahead and set my spawn. I'll need a workbench for crafting, so I went ahead and made one, as well as a campfire for cooking. I set up my campfire and got some meat cooking. I did some quick renovations around the campsite before placing down my crafting bench. This opens up way more crafting options, so I made myself a bow and some arrows. I know I'll need a furnace, so I made one and set it down. I don't have a ton of ore on me, so I'm gonna go ahead and smelt what I have. It was after that when I accidentally discovered the information overlay panel. Oh! Does this tell me what day I'm on? Position, chunk, biome, environment, weather. Time! Yes, it tells me what day I'm on! Let's go! That's gonna make my editing process so much easier. I got to try my new bow out, and it feels really satisfying. Except for some reason, when you run out of arrows, you can still draw the bow back, and you only realize you're out of arrows because it just doesn't fire. Unfortunately, in this first release, you can't pick up your arrows from the ground, so hopefully that'll change later. The sun finally began setting on my first day in Orbis, so you know I had to grab some screenshots. Wow, look at how this water in the mushrooms all glow. I love it. I kind of feel bad cutting down these trees. These are some really cool trees. Wow, that felt so satisfying to pull off. I feel bad. I feel so bad. This sheep's so adorable. Okay, actually, can you just die? I need your leather. Thank you. That looks awesome. Hold up. Oh, look, the bear's... Crap! Sorry, I didn't mean it. Please leave me alone. Crap. Oh my gosh, it hit me for almost all my health. Holy crap. The bears are not friendly. Bears are not friendly. They are not friendly. If it's brown, fight back. If it's black, wait, no. If it's a brown, lie down. If it's black, fight back. Yeah. I finally outran the bear when this happened. Ah! Oh, crap. Feeling a little defeated, I went to sleep to end day 1. Day 2, the sunrise was looking amazing, and I'm leaving early to go get my items. I got back to where I died, grabbed my items, and took revenge on the bear that killed me. I stumbled across another archer's tower and stole their tent so I can make my tent even bigger. I continued exploring around in third person, which feels pretty cool to do. My inventory is pretty full, so I head back to camp and manage it as best as I can. I craft up an armor bench and place it so I can take a look at what resources I'm going to need for getting armor. And yeah, I'm gonna need a lot more ore. So I grab some torches and set out to find a cave to do some mining. I found a good cave and began my descent. I also try to figure out how to place a torch when it was in my other hand. Little did I know, this wasn't possible until the first update. One of the things I noticed while caving is that it is incredibly dark, and in some areas you can't even see the ceiling. So I have to do stuff like this to see. But I did notice something shiny in my peripherals, and I mine up my very first iron ore. I also really like how ore is 3D. It makes it feel a lot more substantial. Of course, even in Hytale, you can't escape the creepy cave sounds.
Ooh, I kinda don't like that piano. That sounded kinda creepy.
I continued exploring the cave and grabbing ore as I went. I stumbled upon some old ruins and a goblin who started throwing bombs at me. After I killed him, there was still a bomb just spinning in the ground, and being a good citizen, I reported it as a bug. Everything was going fairly smoothly until I smacked a barrel and this happened. Oh, crud!
What just happened? I have a feeling I shouldn't be down here.
What is about to happen next is a Hytale canon event.
Except I don't really... Oh, hi. Oh, frick. No.
And that was my second death in Hytale to the most annoying piece of crap, stupid mob you have ever. Silver lining, I didn't drop all of my items, so I went ahead and started smelting up some of my iron. I made a builder's workbench to get my hands on some building blocks, but to actually make armor, I need some leather. But to get leather, I need a tanning rack, and to get a tanning rack, I need light hide, so I am once again forced to kill cute animals for materials. I then got sidetracked and decided to try and recover my items. I made my way back to the lava area, but once I was there, I felt very lost and scared. I faced off against some enemies, but I'm pretty sure the lava did most of the work. History repeated itself as a magma toad appeared out of nowhere, grabbed me by its tongue, and flung me into the lava.
I'm not getting any of that back. I'm just not getting any of that back. It's not happening. That was a dumb decision on my part.
I'm gonna need some armor if I ever want to stand a chance against the demon lava toad. So I make my tanning rack and start processing my first leather. That evening, I got into a fight with a bear, and it didn't go well for me.
Die! Freaking die!
Ah! Day 3, I recovered my stuff from where I died and went back into the caves to do even more mining. Back on the surface, I don't have enough fuel to smelt all my ore, so I went and chopped down some trees.
How far down do the roots of these trees go? Alright, so now I've got a blacksmith's workshop. Man, there are so many workshops.
I went ahead and crafted an iron pickaxe and an iron sword. I took my new sword on a test drive on this baby cow. Maybe I'm the problem. Do I need to go to therapy? Anyway, I spent a while doing some more exploring and killing animals for their skins. I found this fall-looking area and I love the cozy vibe here. I wasn't planning it, but somehow I ended up back in a cave. In said cave was this very unpleasant-looking spider nest and an equally ugly spider. On my walk home, I got jumped by this ugly thing. Day 4, I start out by smelting all the ore I've gathered up. I'm also completely out of storage space, so I make another chest to help out. Out exploring, I spot these cool ruins, but I'm not going over there yet because I'm afraid they'll have a boss or something. I spotted an abandoned castle and decided to try and raid it. Inside, there are a ton of skeletons all over the place. I tried, but I was thoroughly outmatched here.
If I keep trying to kill these guys, I'm going to die. Hey, look! Pumpkin! Pumpkin!
Oh, that's my first armor! There were some trorks roaming about, so I got some shots in before I took them down in a 2-on-1 fight.
Will you die? There you go.
Most of the loot in places like this is in these barrels and crates. You get a lot of food and crafting materials from them. I climbed up the truck's watchtower and enjoyed the cool view from the top. Back at my base, I craft up a shield to help me out in combat. Now that I have some better gear, I went back to the mine I had found earlier. I went around looting what I can and definitely got lost in the labyrinth of tunnels. Day 5, I have a pretty decent amount of hides done curing. I was able to craft an iron helmet and iron leggings.
I need 16 medium leather to unlock a backpack. Well, I guess that's gonna have to be a goal for a bit.
And I killed the squatter who keeps respawning.
Oh, is that a Quebec village? Please tell me these are Quebecs. They have to be, right? Like in this thick wooded area.
To reach the village, I had to kill this fishman.
Oh, hey, those things drop medium hide. That's good for me to know. So I can hunt down those monsters.
At the village was a boat, which unfortunately doesn't work.
Hey, I bounced. This is so cool. Okay, so this seems like a Quebec village, but I don't see anything. Are there not Quebecs in the game yet? Oh, this is sad. This just feels... Oh, I found a Quebec. Can I talk to it? And I can trade with one.
I'll be real though, this guy's trades didn't seem that useful to me.
I think that's a green... Oh, wait, no, it's not. I almost died.
Finished with the tree, I continued going around the swamp slaying fish people for their medium hide, which at the time was a way more consistent source than anywhere else. I dipped my toes briefly into the savannah and killed a hyena, which was kind enough to drop medium hide for me. I killed this weird floaty demon guy and crashed for the night at the Quebec's place. Day 6, I still need medium hide for a backpack and armor, so it's right back to hunting fish people. Also, check out this cool shot of me. Back at home, I complete my armor set by making some gloves. I make a cooking station and cook up some fruit skewers because they give a stamina boost. After that, I found another mine shaft and spent a bit exploring and looting. I've decided that I'm ready to face whatever's over in these ruins. But as I see the inside, I'm realizing this must be an abandoned temple of the goddess Gaia. Inside was also a golem standing guard over a portal. I'm not sure if I could take this golem out, but it turns out I was in fact able to. With the golem dead, I entered the portal and was transported to the Forgotten Temple.
Whoa, this is so cool. What?
The Hytale team really outdid themselves here. It is a stunning area. I met a Cyclops vendor who has nothing to sell right now because early access, and by interacting with the statue in the middle of everything, I unlock the memory system, which is pretty much a journal you fill out while you explore by getting memories from each new mob you find. The other areas here have work in progress signs, but I'm excited to see what they'll be. Leaving the temple, I found that day 7 had already begun. Seeing as I was already out, I went to explore some nearby ruins. There are a lot of skeletons here, but I handle them pretty well by splitting them up and picking off the ones I can with a bow. The loot was okay, nothing too amazing. But the ruins were still fun to explore and make me excited to see what else is out there waiting for me. I make a furniture workshop and use it to craft a chest because my storage situation is pretty rough. I also noticed this blue thing hit me. This is one of those memories I was telling you about. I go back to the Forgotten Temple to drop off all the memories I recorded and checked off the first 2 goals. On my way home, I came across some baby chicks that looked absolutely adorable. Day 8, I upgraded my workbench, which allows me to finally craft my first backpack.
Oh, that doesn't seem very useful. It's kind of frustrating. Why is that? I feel like it should be at least 2 rows. Like, that just feels respectfully not very helpful.
I did put down a double chest, which will help quite a bit. Against my better judgment, I crossed the water to explore the obviously evil area. I had to scale a cliff to reach the zone itself, and you could tell this place is dangerous. Partially because I fell in lava.
Oh, crap!
Thankfully, I had a water bucket on me. Otherwise, things would have gone worse. I saw some neat enemies like another toad and a brain-dead cow. I rode a skeleton horse, and I did some third-person exploring, which felt pretty cool.
All right, now we're gonna see if it swims. It swims.
I then lost said horse. Over in the desert, I found this weird prefab spawner, which definitely isn't supposed to be here. So I reported it as a bug. I came across a desert mine and sniped off a few of the other skeletons. The reason I'm here is because the next ore I need is thorium, and it only spawns in these caves. This is pretty far from my base, so I'm mining as much as I can while I'm down here. Day 9, I started in the cave as I ended up back in the lava zone. I'm not sure if mining in this zone is worth the risk though, but more importantly,
Snail.
my pickaxe broke on me, which made tunneling out really annoying. And coming across these terrifying bug things did not make my life any easier. But I am able to surface with my loot. Back at home, our squatter was there to greet me, and I dealt with him accordingly. No squatter's rights in my Hytale world. After that, I start smelting all of the thorium I've mined. I need some azure wood to upgrade my weapons bench, so I cut down a big azure tree. Day 10, I still need a lot of medium leather for my next armor upgrade. So it's back to the swamps to kill fish people. I also want some gold for an arcane bench, so I spent forever looking around the lava levels and found tons of silver, but no gold.
Gold, I think. Is that not gold? Is that copper? I'm gonna crash out. Gold! Finally, I found some freaking gold. Why did it take that long? Dang. I don't even know if that was enough.
Day 11, I make it back to the surface and have a realization.
Oh, wait, I already had enough gold. I have a ton of gold. What was I thinking?
To finish my thorium armor set, I'll need a lot more venom sacks. So I went out to kill things that dropped them. I decide that it'd be nice to make potions, so I use venom sacks and gold to make the alchemist workbench. Unfortunately, I have no actual potion material, so this is kinda useless right now. The big thing I want right now is an arcanist workbench. So I spent the evening hunting for monsters that drop essences of the void. I found some very creepy ruins that I couldn't resist exploring.
That is a little threatening. Oh. There's nothing here. Just a work in progress sign. Cool. Can I steal this? What happens if I destroy the block it's under? Oh, I can steal it. Cool. Now I have an under construction sign. That's actually kind of awesome.
Anyway, I kept murdering monsters until I ran into these ugly jerks who obliterated me.
So I don't think I'm ready for that area yet. Whoops.
Day 12, I have enough resources to make an arcanist workbench. And with that workbench, I now have access to crafting portals. Right now though, I want to look for azure kelp, which I easily found in a nearby pond. With the kelp in hand, I'm finally able to put down my first portal. I tested how many I can have down at once, and right now that number is at least 4.
At any point, I can just warp to anywhere I want. Awesome.
Remember that zone that was really hard to get to earlier? Well, I want a portal there to make getting back easier, and to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, I'm gonna put it in these temple ruins. So now I can get to the Forgotten Temple and the lava area whenever I want. But with portals in hand, the main thing I want to do is find somewhere I can set up my permanent base. So I spend the rest of day 12 exploring around and ended my day by putting a portal down with the Quebecs. Day 13, I upgraded my armor bench to tier 2. I am once again out of medium leather, but that can wait. I'm gonna keep looking for a spot to base at.
This is a really big rock. Very big rock. Big ocean rock. I like it. So I'm thinking this spot right here is where we're gonna build, because we got a beach, we got some nice foliage, we got some ocean. Like, I feel like this is a really nice spot to set up camp, at least for right now.
With my base location finalized, I set down a portal and start getting things together to start building. I also found this very weird portal bug.
Oh, crap. What just happened? What was that? Bro.
Back at the build site, I slapped down my builder's workbench and got to cutting grass and clearing out an area to build in. I start by making my foundation. All I'm doing here is trying to make an outline. I'm trying to add a bit of variation and depth to the build so it doesn't just feel like a big box or too flat. And I'm leaning away from symmetry to try to get something a little more organic.
So right now, you can't sleep until 9 p.m. The problem is it's way too dark out to do anything like building wise. So now I just have to sit around and wait till it's 9 p.m. and I can go to bed. See, still can't go to bed. Come on.
Day 14, I start filling out the walls of my house. I'm going for a fantasy medieval vibe, so the bottom wall will be stone while the top is more of a white wall kind of a deal. I ran out of stone, so I made a random staircase to get more. Chances are I'll turn this into an actual mine later, we'll see. With this new stone, I managed to finish filling in the walls, and now I'm gonna need a lot of wood to actually finish the house, so I get to chopping. I use these logs I've gathered to install some support beams, adding extra depth and detail to the build. I had to dig part of my wall out of this hill, but I'm liking how the build's shaping up. I want to get these structural walls here, and to get those, I need white clay. So I head over to the desert to dig some up, and since I'm already here, I might as well try to get some medium leather.
A flamingo! Yo, that's sick.
I have almost no white petals, which you need for these walls, but I'm making the ones I can so I can go ahead and get an idea of what the build's going to look like, and yeah, I'm pretty excited for this. Day 15, I absolutely destroyed this clay deposit, but I only had enough white petals to craft 14 blocks of white clay, so I spent the rest of day 15 frolicking around to find flowers.
Work in progress. Well, hey, I'll take that work in progress sign.
I managed to craft up a decent amount of white clay, but I'm missing the hardwood I need for the wall blocks. The trees over by the Quebecs are hardwood, so I'm gonna chop them down. Don't tell the Quebecs, I don't know if this tree was like a cousin or something. I wouldn't want to upset them.
There goes the entire thing. Holy cow.
With hardwood in hand, I craft up as many wall blocks as I possibly can, and start to add them to the build. Day 16, I'm making rough outline for my entrance, and continue adding supports along the top and filling in the second floor wall. I'll be using these crude platforms as wall support. Day 17 was more house building and listening to show tunes because I felt bored.
Monsieur Javert, I knew you wouldn't wait too long. He's serving out his post once more. This boy's done no wrong and he needs a doctor's care.
Monsieur la Mayor, you'll wear a different shade.
I made some good progress before running out of my walls, so I had to go mine even more clay. After that, I finished the walls on the upper floor. I want to get glass for windows, so I did the logical thing and smelted sand, which for some reason made glass bottles. Weird. I want to give my house a red roof like this one you can see in the Hytale trailer. So logically, I spend day 18 going out to find red wood to get a red roof. I finally find the red trees, cut them down.
Whoa!
And when I made it back to my base, I realized something.
I got the wrong roof color.
It turns out that hardwood gives you red roofs, so all I had to do was chop down more swamp trees. Day 19, I began experimenting with Hytale's roof blocks. The first thing I tried was this steep angled roof, but I really wasn't a fan of this shape at all, so the entire thing had to go. I tried a roof alternating steep blocks, but again, not a fan. I landed on a pretty simple triangle roof for the entrance, and I'm pretty happy with how that shape looks. Day 20, it was more roof work. This time, I began on the main roof for the largest section of the house. I had to restart a time or two, but I landed on a basic shape with a flat top. I outlined the last section and continued filling out the roof, which turned out to be pretty satisfying.
The way they just perfectly connect is amazing.
I make some decent progress before I get distracted and try to fight a big, bad-looking skeleton. Now, at this point, you know I suck, so of course, it killed me.
Oh, my word, he still hit me. I might have to go get my shield for that.
And for some reason, I got sent back to spawn. I therefore decide I need an armor upgrade, so I'm making a thorium helmet, chest plate, and gloves. On day 21, I finished the sides of the roof, and all I have left to do now is to fill in the top. Day 22, the roof is finally done. I cut some holes out for windows, and I'm lying down the floor. I grab my bed and officially relocate to my house. Now I get to sleep in it for the very first time. Day 23 was more housework, flooring, putting in windows, and so forth. I fought that skeleton again, and he killed me again, but the third time, I killed him.
He dropped 3 cobalt ingots! And I can get all of my stuff back, yay!
I dig the grass out of my basement and put down my wooden flooring. With that out of the way, I can finally start moving everything over from my camp and setting up a crafting area in my basement. I finish moving over all of my items and destroy the portal at my old camp so I can use it elsewhere. Pause. These videos take a lot of time to make, so if you want more quality content like them, consider liking and subscribing. It means a lot to a 389 subscriber channel like me. Day 24, I'm tired of working on my house, so I decide to just mine for thorium, which was cut short by the lava zone. I have to stop going here.
I can't even see anything. I'm not playing a freaking horror game. What is the point of this? Dude.
Day 25, I'm able to craft a pair of thorium leggings to finish off my thorium set. I also make an iron bow and go to the desert to try it out. I'm specifically hunting scorpions and wasps again because I need their stingers to upgrade my weapons. And I had fun practicing my aim, which served me well when I took on a bunch of skeletons all at the same time, just so I could loot some bookshelves for my house. Priorities, am I right? Back home, I upgrade my weapon bench to tier 2 and make myself a thorium sword. I end my day by putting down my bookshelves because my house desperately needs decoration. Day 26, I still don't have a door, so I'm crafting some of these cool looking ones.
Oh, these doors are huge. Oh, that was a mistake.
Today, I want to start exploring Zone 3. It was a pretty long walk through Zone 1 to get there, but it felt cool as frick in third person. And I'm sure nothing's going to go wrong.
All right, so it looks like we are in the Redwoods biome, or at least approaching it. Oh! That did not just happen.
That was embarrassing, but luckily my spawn messed up again, so I wasn't too far from my stuff.
I like that there's almost a transition here. Like you can tell things are getting a little colder. Wow, these are some big glaciers. And I mean big. Like if I fall, it's gonna hurt. Yeah, this feels awesome. Oh, there's a polar bear. Frick. I'm sorry. Please die. I loved you in the Coca-Cola ad. Please leave me alone.
And eventually, I find a nice spot to slap down a portal. I then get to work setting up a little tent so I can stay warm on my northern expedition. This is 100% unnecessary, but it makes me feel cool and you can't deny the cozy factor. Day 27 definitely had a weird start as a random bar showed up on my screen.
What happens when this bar reaches 0? Oh, what just happened? I guess if I am immobile for too long, I die, which is, good to know.
I'm once again looking for a cave entrance because the next ore tier is called Cobalt and it only spawns in Zone 3. The ice caves here really feel special to me. After a bit, I find my first piece of Cobalt ore. I found a mine shaft like the other 2 zones and met an awful new friend. I come across a huge fossil, but more importantly, I find even more Cobalt ore. It's mostly boring mining until I came across some water deep in a cave. What is that? What is that?
All it dropped was raw fish. Crap, I need to get out of here.
And I drowned. Day 28, I begin smelting the cobalt I have, and I deposit some memories at the Forgotten Temple. Back in Zone 3, I go around stealthily looting the Outlander settlement near me. At first, these guys seem pretty easy to kill, and they drop Shadow Weave scraps, which I need for the next set of armor. I continue going around picking them off one at a time until I enter the main complex and bit off a bit more than I could chew.
I'm gonna die.
I try to recover my stuff, but got murdered again.
Okay, I'm kind of done with this game.
Feeling frustrated, I decide it's time to try out the cozy part of Hytale. So I make a farming workbench and make a stone hoe. This is also when I learned that life essence is used at the workbench to buy seeds. I place down some water, which looks really weird, and make a sprinkler can. I get to hoe in the ground and plant all of the seeds I can afford. Day 29, I wake up to the sun and go straight to water my crops.
Is that already ready to harvest? What the crap? And the lettuce is ready to harvest?
Oh, and you get life
Oh, does that mean I could have been getting life essence this entire time by harvesting crops I saw? Oh, what? That makes me feel dumb.
I craft myself a crossbow, load it up, and fired off a few shots. I plant some corn, and I want to get as much essence of life as I can, so I rob the Quebecs of their crops.
I feel a little bad about it, of course, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do.
The main reason I want to start farming is because the Quebec trader offers recipes for pies. And these pies provide the strongest buffs in the game and they last for 6 minutes. So getting a consistent farm setup is a top priority. A capture crate can let you catch animals, so I went ahead and made one. Day 30, I make some better-ish looking crop patches and got to planting what I need for the first farmer's workbench upgrade. I then went to figure out how the capture crate and feedbacks work.
Okay, so I don't even need a lure. I can just grab it.
I know I'll need eggs, so I wanted to get my hands on a chicken or 2. So I went searching while picking up wild crops on the way to get more life essence.
Oh, chickens, great. Oh, I should have brought an extra crate. Okay, caught a chicken. There we go.
Back at home, I made a small pen to set my chickens inside.
All right, now I have my very first chicken, who will hopefully lay me some eggs.
Before heading to bed, I plant some more crops. Day 31, I was very confused about how eggs work in the game.
How do you get eggs? Do you just wait for them to drop? Do I have to? It looks like the wheat and the cabbage is already grown.
Honestly, crops growing this quickly doesn't seem very fun, so I submitted some feedback about it.
The only way to get chickens is to build a chicken coop. Oh, which means I'm gonna need to grow carrots. Plant some carrots.
I spend some time managing my storage before my crops freak me out again.
Why are those already done? It's the same day. I don't get it.
I go back to Zone 3 to mine for some cobalt and came across this esteemed gentleman.
Oh, you are not friendly. I thought you were friendly. You are not a friendly. Oh, he looks so smart and nice. Why do I have to kill him? This feels mean. I don't like this. Hytale, why are you making me do this? All right, well, I have a total of 65. cobalt ore?
By the time I reached the surface, day 32 had already started. I find these huge rocks with ores and plants sticking out, and I of course spend time mining them because why not? I very nearly got murdered in the forest.
Oh, come on, dude, leave me alone.
I had to pillar up just to survive.
Okay, well, that feels really cheaty, but it's just gonna have to work right now. My campsite, there it is. I finally made it back. Ooh, I didn't realize that there was an opening animation like that. That's cool.
Day 33, I crafted some cobalt leggings and tended to my farm while my ore smelted. I was also able to upgrade my farmer's workbench to tier 3.
I feel like I'm just living my Stardew Valley dreams right now, but in Hytale. Isn't it great?
Inside, I craft a cobalt chestplate, cobalt helmet, and cobalt gloves. I do like how this set looks quite a lot. While I was at it, I made a cobalt pick and axe as well. With my new gear in hand, I go back to take the Outlanders on again. And though it went better for me this time around, I still suck at the game.
Aw, frick!
I went back and made a hole in the wall, aiming to shoot the enemies inside one by one. This also didn't work.
Why is health regen so slow?
Day 34, I tended to my crops before moving on to Zone 4, the evil-looking zone from earlier. This is where the next ore tier spawns, adamantite. I went into the caves looking for adamantite and saw a lush green jungle below me. So I took a leap of faith.
Oh, that was so lucky! Oh, I almost died there. That was almost bad.
This area is really cool, but there isn't anything down here at all. There's a little bamboo timeshare, but that's about it. It took me a solid half an hour just to find a single ore vein, and I found very little after that. Day 35, a ton of my turnips are ready to go, enough that I'm able to upgrade my workbench to level 4. I get some of the new seeds that I unlock and plant them.
Oh, are those penguins? I'm gonna get a pet penguin. Hold up. Wait, I think I'm cooking. I grab my box. Oh, please tell me I can pick up a penguin. This game will be a 10 out of 10 if I can pick up a penguin. I am so here for it. And there's a polar bear there. What if okay, so really what I'm doing is I'm saving the penguins. The penguins need saved from themselves. No. I can pick up a penguin. I have a penguin in my box. All right, let's get it home and then I'll come back for the other one. A penguin! Oh, hi. Wait, no, don't be scared. Like, come on, this thing should be fearing for its life right now. If anything, I'm doing it a huge favor. Yoink. There they go. Oh, I don't know what to name them. I'll figure it out later. Point is, I have penguins now.
Day 36, I harvested my eggplants that were ready, and I planted even more so I can afford the next upgrade. I want to try my luck in a different lava zone for adamantite, so I traveled through Zone 3 to get to a different one. Then the game started acting like I wasn't even connected to the server, even though I'm in single player. I couldn't destroy a block, nothing was responding, so I had to reload. Day 37, I swam across to the new lava zone, and I entered in through a sewer. I explored the sewer for a while and did some looting. I really just want to see if this connects to anything else or to the surface if I can. I ended up mining up to the surface, and in the distance, I spot this cool looking Viking area that I really want to check out later. I raid an abandoned castle near me, and it really gets me thinking about the lore and what happened here. Unfortunately, I won't find that out until they release the story mode. I slap down a portal I have on me and return home to sleep. Day 38, I now have enough eggplants for the next upgrade, but I need to plant some more pumpkins for it, and I've spent pretty much the rest of that day trying to find adamantite and carefully using crouch to avoid lava.
Why does shifting not work over lava? Oh no. This is bad. Get to the water. Okay, good. What is happening over there?
A minute after this, I fell and died. I tried to go back, but I teleported to a place where the portal was no longer there and got stranded. I filled out a bug report for that one because definitely shouldn't happen. Before going back to sleep, I put down a cool bed I had looted earlier.
Look how cozy I look, sleeping in an actual bed for the first time in this game. Crazy.
Day 39 saw more crop harvesting. I have enough pumpkins now, but not enough life essence. So I planted a lot of random crops to get more. I want to get my hands on the next backpack upgrade, but I need a lot of heavy leather to do that. So I spent some time hunting down every brown bear I could find. I also go to Zone 3 to see if the polar bears drop more heavy leather, and it turns out they do. So I shift my focus to hunting polar bears instead. I started day 40 off by climbing up a mountain just for the fun of it, and the view from the top was definitely worth it. Makes me want to build like a fire lookout or a beacon of Gondor. Farther down the mountain, I spotted a Yeti, and you know I couldn't resist fighting it. Fighting this thing felt absolutely awesome. And admittedly, I feel a little bad killing it, but I do get some heavy hide for my trouble. Back home, I start tanning all the hide I've gathered for my backpack. My wheat was all ready to go, so I get to harvesting. I still don't have enough life essence for the upgrade, so I have to plant even more wheat. Day 41, the second Hytale update is out, and this update fixed ore distribution issues with adamantite. However, in order to benefit from this, I need to travel to newly generated chunks. But first, I'm swimming to that Viking thing.
Okay, here it is. Now, I don't know what kind of enemies might be over here, so I want to play it carefully, though I'm not seeing anything right this second. I mean, this just looks really cool, like these chains and these boats. I really wish these boats were functional. It would be so cool to take a boat like this and go sail the ocean in Hytale.
With that out of the way, I start heading north to find a new lava area. That night, I come across a different kind of Quebec village I hadn't seen before. And they seem nice, so I'm just gonna crash here. Day 42, I spotted what looks like the edge of a lava zone on my map. It's across an ocean though, so I start swimming. Weirdly, this zone doesn't have huge cliffs like the other ones did, so reaching the shore and setting up a teleporter was a breeze. I then used said teleporter to harvest my crops and plant the tomatoes and peppers I need for the next farm upgrade. The rest of day 42, I was exploring, trying to find a cave or some adamantite. Day 43, I still haven't found a cave and I'm very fed up, so I'm just gonna start digging down and hope for the best. After like 10 minutes, I hear this.
The sound effects make it sound like I must be near a cave. Grass! There it is! I found one!
I tried to get a portal down in the cave, but I got jumped by a dinosaur. I of course fought the dinosaur Jurassic Park style, and with that out of the way, it's time to start searching for ore.
Look at that! Oh, look at all that adamantite. Finally, I found some. I just have to not get killed by a dinosaur, which is probably easier said than it is done. Actually,
it felt so good to finally find a big vein of this. And the dinos are a nice plus.
It's a pterodactyl! That's awesome.
I continue mining ore until I see something.
Is that a T-Rex? Oh, that's awesome.
Kids, if you ever see a T-Rex minding its own business, you should probably mind your business too.
That's scary. Hello. Oh, crud. I was killed by a T-Rex. Great.
Day 44, I harvested my crops and then upgraded one of my furnaces to hopefully make smelting my adamantite ore quicker. I also upgrade my tanning rack because why not? In order to use my adamantite, I need to upgrade my crafting stations, and to do that, I need a lot of heavy leather. So I'm just hunting some polar bears down until I get enough for the upgrade. I also need a lot of void and ice essence for the weapon bench, so I stay out late killing some skeletons, which was definitely worth it.
Whoa, the sky looks awesome right now. Holy cow, it's like the Northern Lights. That's really cool.
Day 45, I have enough life essence to buy the recipe for Caesar salad from the Quebec trader. I go home and look at the recipe and realize that it requires cheese. I have no way of getting cheese, so I set out to find a baby cow to kidnap and exploit. I find a baby cow and grab it with my box and milk the parents. Unfortunately, it looks like a cow can only be milked once per day, so I'll definitely need more. Back at home, I threw my cow in with my chickens. I'm sure they'll be best friends. Day 46, I craft something called an ancient gateway. This lets you access other dimensions when you craft these shards. I place the gateway in spawn because it looks cool, and use my crystal to open the first gateway. I end up in this swamp-looking area that has crocodiles I haven't seen before, and there's also this timer on the top. I'm not sure what it's counting down to yet. There's a huge tree, and I decide to climb up to see if there's anything at the top. There wasn't, and while trying to look over the edge, I went over it by accident and died. Day 47, I craft a new portal fragment and revisit the swamp. This time, I find some ruins with some okay loot, and found out what happens when this timer reaches 0. A bunch of void enemies spawn in, a bunch of void enemies, lots of enemies, that's what happens. I got absolutely murdered. I decided to go and practice my combat against the Outlanders, and it went really well, but still it wasn't perfect. Day 48, I need void hearts to fully upgrade my gear, and they only drop from void eyes and void spawns.
so I'm hunting those down. The problem is finding them can be hard and the drop rate is low.
It didn't drop it. That's mad unfortunate.
I didn't find a single void heart. Day 49, I want to start getting some eggs, so I made a chicken coop for my chickens to call home. I placed it down and added onto the fence so the coop and the chickens can fit inside. And I'm almost ready to upgrade my farm bench to tier 5.
Well, that's should be enough to, I need cedar.
I searched the north for cedar trees, and by night, I have finally found a cedar tree and chop it down. Back at base, I was able to upgrade my farming bench to tier 6. Day 50, I plant some rice and cotton for the tier 7 upgrade.
Oh, hey, it looks like my chicken coop did something. So let's, and yeah, it gave me, so I have an egg now. Cool.
I want more chickens, so I'm making some more capture crates.
Okay, so I found a chick. It's so adorable. Oh, that is so precious. Yoink. I'll be taking you home with me. And yoink. All right, so I've got a chick and 2 chickens. Oh, look at that chick. It's so cute. Oh, look, they're like a happy little family now, right? Yeah, I agree.
But that night, my hunt for void hearts continued, and I still couldn't get a void heart to drop. Or so I thought.
Wait, is this one? Oh, I finally got a void heart! Finally! Jeez, man, getting my hands on these is gonna be a pain, isn't it? A second one! That's crazy!
Day 51, I stole myself another work in progress sign for the collection. When I finally got home, I find my chickens are still missing.
I think I lost my chickens. How did that happen? What on earth? Bro. Oh, that's so annoying. Yeah, they're just not here anymore.
It's night out now, and I'm still hunting for void creatures. I didn't find a single one all night.
So it's day 52. I've decided my best bet is going to be to use another thing to go back to the Dreadwade, as much as I really don't want to have to do that, because right now I'm not finding anything that drops what I need. All right, the portal's been summoned. Just got to give it a second to open, and here we go. Hopefully this won't end badly. Oh, I'm kind of scared. I'm nervous. Whew, counted down. I mean, there's a non-zero chance I get obliterated here.
I want to be more careful this time and pick off enemies from afar and keep my distance when my health goes low. And so far, it's working out.
Come on, drop a void heart. Void heart, there it is. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Come on. Okay, there's another void heart. There's another void heart. So at least now, you know, worst come to worst, I have some insurance, I guess. Oh man, it closed. So I just built something called a salvager's workbench, and I'm hoping I can use it to salvage a bunch of the freaking gear I have left over that I don't need anymore. Like, I have so much freaking gear that I just don't need. Oh, okay, that actually gives me more than I kind of thought it would.
I'm almost ready to upgrade my farm bench to level 7, but first I need to find some dry bottlewood logs. So I pop over to the desert real quick and grab some. Now I can upgrade my farmer's workbench to level 7.
I'm gonna head over to the desert because I need sturdy chitin for my upgrade, and I need, I think, 40 of it, so I'm just gonna go and start killing things.
Turns out it's pronounced chitin, and apparently armadillos drop it. But more importantly, I'm killing these scarex because they drop more of it and they don't make me feel bad for killing them.
So I went to Aldi today and I got their Aldi brand White Monster, and I'm very excited to see if it tastes any good. Whew, ooh, that sounds great. Smells good. Wow. It's not the same, but it's not bad.
Day 54, I went and changed where my Quebec portal was at to make accessing the merchant easier. And in the process, I broke their tree.
Whoops. I just thought of the funniest name for this gate. Hold up. Wait. Jurassic Park. Maybe that's a little too obvious, but I think it makes me happy, and that's all that matters. Because it's my world, and you can't do nothing about it.
I want more adamantite, but mining with my cobalt pick is insanely slow. But to get an adamantite pick, I need to upgrade my crafting bench, which means I'm going to now go out and spend days 55 and 56 hunting down fire essence from Zone 4 enemies. I thought about doing like a cool montage here, but grinding mobs really isn't that interesting. Day 56, I harvest my potatoes and I'm almost ready for the tier 8 farm upgrade. But I need golden wood logs. This is about to be a huge pain in the butt.
So it turns out that goldenwood only spawns in very specific areas of the devastated lands, which, yeah, this area, this version of the biome does not seem to be there, so. Okay, so now I'm in a different one, and these might be the trees I'm looking for. Okay, so none of these trees are the trees I'm looking for. We're gonna have to try to find a different devastated land. That's a bummer. So, out of the 3 of these biomes I've already discovered, I cannot find a single golden tree. So it looks like I'm gonna have to go and find yet another one and hope for the best. Okay, so it looks like there's another area directly to the east. So I'm gonna go check that out. Well, I'm still swimming, but, you know, at least I get to see a somewhat neat sunrise. Okay, so it's day 57. I finally reached the side of the stupid thing. Now I just have to climb up it. Okay, I am not 100% sure yet, but these look like they could be the trees I'm looking for, so I'm gonna make my way over there. This is also by far the most amount of green I've seen in one of these biomes so far. So this is a very thick swamp I'm making my way through right now, and I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of creeping the crap out of me. If they added like a mob that like stalks you through here, I would absolutely crap my pants. Okay, I see a tree over there. I'm really hoping that tree is the one I'm looking for. And then, moment of truth, is this tree the tree I have been hunting for? Please say yes, because I feel like I've not seen it before. Yes, it is! Sallow tree trunk. All right, let's get it chopping. Cut this whole bad boy down. Actually, I'm gonna cut a few of them down because I really do not want to have to look for this thing again.
Day 57, even after all that searching, I somehow don't have enough life essence to upgrade my farm. So I have to plant more seeds to make up for it.
Wait, does rain not water crops? I'm gonna be a little annoyed if I have to water all of this myself because the rain doesn't. Why would rain not water your crops? That doesn't make any sense.
Day 58, I upgraded my workbench.
So upgrading my workbench, man, why is that taking so long? Hurry up and upgrade, please.
And I was finally able to craft an adamantite pickaxe. Right now though, my pumpkins are ready to harvest, and with those, I can upgrade to farm tier 8. The next upgrade demands a bunch of flower petals, and I am just not bothering with that right now. Instead, I'm gonna spend some time mining thorium so I can finish upgrading my weapon bench and my armor bench. Day 59, with thorium finally in hand, I upgraded my weapons bench.
I'm gonna craft adamantite daggers, because right now daggers are like the most broken weapon in the game, and I'm finding them a lot easier to use, so yeah, that's what I'm going with.
After that, it's back to mining for more adamantite, because I still need a lot of it.
Okay, so there's the T-Rex over there, and I would like to avoid him if possible, or I could try to just take him down with my arrows. Yeah, he hits like a truck. Oh, what the heck? Die! Hey, I killed it, and he only dropped 3 heavy hide. So what I'm doing right now is absolutely terrifying, and there is a... Frick! I was crouched, I thought. Well, at least I didn't die. So I am leaving on day 60 with over 100 adamantite ore from that one cave dive, which is pretty great.
Day 60, I can finally upgrade my armorer's workbench to make adamantite armor. Day 61, I need more heavy hides, so I'm hunting down polar bears, and back at home, I'm curing the hides. And I'm finally able to craft an adamantite helmet, chest plate, gloves, and the leggings.
I now have a complete set of adamantite armor. I feel pretty good about it. I have reached the maximum armor tier you can, because Mithril is currently not available. You cannot get it in survival or adventure mode, so... Oh, a Quebec just teleported into my house!
Now, you may have noticed my house is nowhere near done, so let's go ahead and change that. It's montage time.
The last thing I want to finish the house is a rug. So day 69, I'm gathering up a bunch of red petals for dye, and I'm looking for sheep for wool. I tried shearing a rabbit, but no luck. Day 70, I still haven't found any wool, but I need 100 storm petals, so I'm looking for some storm plants up in the mountains. And I came across a ruined temple on accident.
Whoa, oh, hello.
This one has an ice golem for me to kill. After spending all of day 70 looking for storm petals, I only have 18 of the 100 I need, so I don't think I'm gonna bother with that upgrade.
Remember when I was trying to find gold earlier in the video? Well, these mountainsides are full of gold. I could have saved so much time by just taking a hike and grabbing gold out of the side of the mountain. It is everywhere up here.
Back at home, I make my rugs and put the finishing touches on my house. I also really like the idea of adding curtains to these windows.
Why can't I put that there? You're kidding me. I can't make actual drapes? That's so annoying. That's dumb. Yo, what the crap? Well, get that idea.
The newest update added in basic taming, so I'm taming my chickens.
So is it tamed? Oh, it's tamed! I can pet my chicken! Okay, so I believe I am finally done with my house. Now, obviously, there are still things I'd like to change or add, but for now, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a house tour. Here's the entrance. We have these two different sections. You come in, and here's the front door. Now, there's not a ton in the entryway, but over here, we have a nice, cozy little corner. Over here's the portal. And down here is mostly the same. It's all just like kind of my workbenches and work areas, but where things are really different is upstairs. So we come upstairs, first thing we see is a nice cozy rug. We have this nice big fireplace and a statue. Then if we go up this ladder, there's a loft. And in this loft, it's kind of a reading nook. So here is an Arcanus workbench. There's some bookshelves. There's a big, nice window looking outside. We can kind of sit down here. And you even have this overlook into the bedroom and right here as well. So you can kind of like see what's going on over there. I think it's a pretty neat thing. First, let me show you this. So there's a big window, and this is kind of the study. So if up there's the reading nook, this is where you really sit down to do some reading, do some writing, get, work done, Hytale taxes and so forth. We got some candles, books, all of that fun stuff. And I'm really proud of how these turned out. They're kind of just like Hobbit hole-esque entrances. And here's the kitchen. So we have nice big ceilings. We have kind of an island. This is the chef's stove. There's some shelves with some stuff on it, some raw meat ready to process. And here we have the kind of big dining hall. There's some bar stools. We've got the feed bag. There's that. A window right here. There's not a great view, but it's still pretty cool. We have the chairs, dinner set out, ready to go. I have this chandelier right here. Slight complaint. I wanted to connect the chandelier directly to either a chain or a post, but you can't do that. It has to be connected to a solid block. So thanks for that, Simon. But still, over here we got the bedroom. I kept this pretty simple. Little end table, nice bed. We have kind of our dresser and an empty painting. I haven't done anything with this area yet. I imagine making it a bathroom at some point. One of my favorite parts of the house is right out here. We have our porch. So this is kind of that big blank area I left. It's not fully wrapped around, but it's got an awesome view. I might take some of these trees down so you can see the full river. You can sit down and just kind of enjoy looking out. And what makes it even better is if you ever come in from the back side, there's a ladder so you can quickly get to the porch or get out. So yeah, that is the house for right now. I'm pretty happy with it. If you have more ideas for things I could change or add, you should drop them in the comments.
Now that the house is decorated, let's set some goals for the last 28 days. Introducing the Hytale Base Upgrade and Improvement Plan, or HBIRP for short. Number 1, make a big field of immortal crops. Number 2, build a cool bar named the Click Clack Moo Barn. Number 3, build a really cool fountain for a screenshot. And number 4, build a big bridge so I can get from here to there without doing this. The hardest of these goals is getting a lot of immortal crops. Essentially, these are seeds that infinitely produce crops. But to get them, you need a large amount of the crops that they grow. For example, to get an immortal pepper seed, you need 30 peppers. So first, I'm harvesting my onions with the new scythe, and I'm going to get started on my peppers. I have a ton of seeds I'm planting to get myself started. I also want to make this look like a very natural farm. I want it to look very organic and almost rustic. Day 73, my crops somehow are all ready to harvest. Now, what I'm doing is crafting a normal seed, crafting an eternal seed, and repeating this process until I run out of plants for eternal seeds. In this first batch, I got enough for 12 eternal pepper seeds. Now, I'm planting the eternal seeds, and I'm harvesting wheat and doing the same thing with the peppers for eternal wheat seeds. Day 74, I'm repeating the process from the day before, and I add a few more eternal seeds to the bunch. I also plant some corn because I need that for taming chickens. Towards the end of the day, I start clearing space for my barn with this shovel. Day 75, I tend to my crops and then realize that I'm missing a chicken.
So in retrospect, that chicken that wasn't tamed was definitely standing outside of the fence. And I don't know where it's at. I may have lost my chicken. I should have put that in a box when I had the chance. Whoops. Oh well, I guess. Okay, yeah, I've been searching for this chicken for a while, and it's just gone. I don't think I'm getting that chicken back. Sometimes you just have to cut your losses, you know? Oh wait, it's right there, bro.
With the chicken found and tamed, I lead it back to the pen.
Come here. Here, chicken, chicken, chicken. There we go.
Then it's just back to clearing space for the barn. And by sunset, I have all the space cleared out and ready to go so I can start outlining the footprint of my barn. I'm liking how these red wall blocks are looking for the barn. I don't have enough clay for this build, so I spend the rest of day 75 digging out clay deposits. Day 76, if I want my barn to have that classic American red color, I'll need red petals to dye my clay. So I'm just gathering up a ton of them. Back at home, I craft up all the wall blocks I can and start replacing my temporary walls with the real ones. I also start filling out all the walls to try to get an idea of how the final build is going to look. Day 77, I decided to try using those big doors I made earlier for my barn entrance.
Yeah, that's kind of sick.
I then adjust the height of the barn to make up for how large those doors are. I tried doing a birch roof, but it looks awful. Instead, I cut down trees for a thatch roof and back of the barn start experimenting. And I'm really happy with the shape I ended up with here. To finish off the night, I attend to the eternal crops, and then I made a mistake.
I just made a bunch of corn I didn't mean to make. I can't believe I'm planting corn right now because I accidentally screwed up. Ugh, so annoyed.
Day 78 started bright and early because I'm filling out my barn's roof. It didn't take long before I had the main sides of the roof done.
I interrupt your roof building to harvest a bunch of corn. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, running into the corn and harvesting it is kind of cool. I might have to plant some more of this later.
Before ending my night, I was able to finish up the roof.
And I must say, that looks pretty good for a cozy little barn. I'm happy with how this has come out.
Day 79, I filled in the walls of the barn and turned my attention to the interior of the build. The first thing I'm doing is punching out holes for where the windows are going to go. Instead of actual windows, I'm using fences to keep with that rustic feel.
Oh, it's storming. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of vibing with the storm. It's really cozy.
Day 80, I figured out a design for my animal stalls. I'm keeping it structured but also open. I moved the ladder to the front of the barn and I put in one of those big barn holes you see in real life. I have no idea what it's actually for, but it looks cool. I tried using some trapdoors for shutters, but it was weirdly difficult.
Wait, what? That's not at all what I was trying to do. Why is this being difficult? Place how I want you to okay. Why? Okay, so if I do that, that'll work. If I do that, that'll work. If I do that, there we go. I'm pretty happy with that. I like that a lot.
Now I'm throwing roofs over the windows and throwing on some trapdoor shutters. Day 81, I'm working on the stalls inside the barn itself. I'm connecting them with this cool little archway, and I love how putting down these lamps look. I connect all the arches together and begin adding fences in. At the back of the barn, I cut out a large hole for a window. I'm filling it in with the same fences as the smaller windows. Day 82, I start working on replacing the floor in the barn. For the floor, I'm crafting this decorative dry grass, which didn't work.
Okay, let me go test something. So like, if I place this over here, it just doesn't, I don't understand. Why would that not place as dry grass? That's really dumb.
So I pivot to making hay bales for the flooring instead. I did end up filling out a bug report about the dry grass being broken, and I do some texturing on the floor and throw in some hay bale piles for good measure. The last thing I want to do with the barn is to install one of those barn lofts you see in those old-timey barns. I'm thinking this could be great for storage of animal products in the future.
Okay, so this is the last thing I'm gonna do to this for right now, is put down some lanterns. And yeah, I think that's it. So this is what the final barn looks like. I'm pretty happy with it. I like the overall shape. It's pretty simple. There's definitely some things I could go in to do more detail, This is the inside. I'm pretty happy with it. Like, I am not at all disappointed, and there's easy access to the little area up here. So I'm gonna go over here, yeet my baby cow, go over here, and there you go. The first barn animal. Apparently they can't actually grow up yet, so hopefully that's introduced soon. All right, so it is now day 83, and what I'd like to focus on today is building myself a pathway from here up to here, because I want to put my fountain right here, kind of offset.
Unfortunately, this path meant I had to remove the work in progress sign. I'm trying to make this path look like it naturally meanders and using texturing to make it look worn. Now, with the click-clack-moo barn done, the next goal I'm focusing on is building the fountain.
So I'm about to do something that might be considered borderline sacrilege, but I really, really want these marble blocks for my fountain. So, I think I'm just gonna steal a bunch of them.
I used the Minecraft Circle website to build a foundation for my fountain, and this is way too big, so I had to remove it. I'm going to try a smaller circle, and this one looks a lot better. Day 84, I started giving my chickens a bit of love before working on the centerpiece of the fountain where Gaia's statue's going to be. I used some stairs and slabs to add depth to the outside of the fountain. I'm not happy with this centerpiece, so I'm gonna rework it with a pillar. And I ended up with this pedestal. Now to just add water.
Okay, so I just grabbed some water from over there, and I'm hoping this will work how not what I wanted it to do. I mean, that's not horrible. It's not what I actually wanted it to do.
As a last effort, I tried using slabs for what I want to do.
Did that. Will that work? Oh, that will work. Okay. I really like that. I just wish there was a way to do it without having to have that slab right there. Well, actually,
shockingly, this worked. Day 85, I'm using my newly discovered trick to add the actual fountain part to the fountain. And I think I killed it here. It'll be perfect for my bragging screenshot later. I used the Circle website again and stressed myself out over making it perfect.
8, 9. So if it's 10 wide, then it's 1, 2.
I finally got the circle made and filled it in. Day 86, I'm adding some walls, a place to sit, and putting the final details on the fountain. I finished the build off with these lanterns, and would you look at that? My fountain is all done. So that's goal number 3 crossed off. Day 87, I have one final burp project. Building bridge. But first, I'm attending to my crops. I spend the day gathering materials and put down the first 2 pillars for where the bridge is going to be. I put cobblestone down the whole length of the bridge, and day 88, I put down some clay to use as scaffolding. I'm trying to make a cool arch bridge like these, and you know what that means. Going back to the Circle website just to say screw it and start laying out as many arches as I can to see how far it'll go. Day 89, I start replacing the arches with stairs.
I think I'm gonna have to completely restart this entire thing. I'm so pissed.
That means I had to destroy and redo all of it.
Okay, I think that is actually correctly spaced this time, thank goodness. Because if I screwed it up a second time, I would just give up on this entire project.
Day 90, the bridge work continued.
Okay, now that I'm seeing everything from above, this is all starting to look pretty good. Holy crap, I'm excited.
I'm also adding these decorative bits to the side for extra bougie flair. It was while doing this that I realized I screwed up the space.
I definitely made a mistake, so now I have to go back and fix it. Yay.
Luckily, I caught the mistake early and didn't have to redo the entire thing again. By the end of the night, I had all the arch templates done. So I start to work on the other side of the bridge. Because one side is done, all I have to do is connect the 2 sides together. Day 91, I'm continuing with connecting the bridge together 1 arch at a time. I'm also adding these decorative bits to the underside of the bridge because I'm adding wood on top, so you're not gonna see it anyway.
I really like how the kind of structural part of the bridge looks, just making progress through here.
With both sides connected, I started decorating the other side. I'm also filling in brick up on top. Day 92, I'm using slabs to close in the support pillars and add depth. I'm also using softwood planks for the pedestrian area of the bridge. Day 93, I finished the top of the bridge. The railings are going to sit on these stone stairs, which I'm putting all the way along either side. Then the railings themselves are being made up of all of these stone walls. I also made this lamp design, which feels nice and fancy. Below the bridge, I'm putting some lamps down for extra detailing. Day 94, I finish installing the light post. I know it isn't 100% necessary, but I want the bridge to look like it has a strong foundation. So I'm connecting it down to the bottom of the river. It's a small change, but it makes a big difference on the build's quality.
All right, so it is now day 95 out of 100. And the goal for today is to finish both ends of the bridge. Okay, you have to admit, from up here, the view of the bridge is kind of awesome.
I add in stairs to the end of the bridge and put bricks on the side. I decorate it with some decorative blocks, and the final touch is adding in 2 street lights. I repeat this process on the other side, and then I start installing pedestrian benches all along the bridge.
All right, this is the last bench. All right, that means that the bridge is done, so I can go ahead and remove all of the structural support.
I'm so proud of this build, and removing the scaffolding felt amazing.
All right, and just like that, the bridge is done, and man, it looks kind of awesome. I'm really proud of that. Like, hold on, let me take a screenshot. Wait, I need a, like, you can see my house in the distance and the bridge. Like, I think I did pretty well. And let's get a view from this angle. Yeah. But yeah, that looks awesome. All right, let's go ahead and cross the bridge for the first time. We've got all of the lights. We've got some benches. So like if you want to take a break and just take in the scenery.
With this walk, we can cross off the final big goal before the dragon. Day 96, I finally attend to my neglected crops. Now, I have 60 eternal wheat seeds to plant, which is a pretty good amount, so I'm gonna consider that goal done. I'm also taking the time to redo my chicken fencing, so now all of the chickens are connected to the barn itself. And for that extra rustic vibe, and to maximize profit, I'm growing some wheat in here for the vibes. In preparation for finding the dragon, I buy as many salads from the Quebec trader as I can. In order to craft the portal fragment for the dragon, I need to grind out 30 essence of ice. So I head to Northrend to get to grinding. Day 97, I'm still out grinding ice essence. I need 12 more to make the portal fragment. Luckily, I murdered this entire group and got enough. Now I'm just gonna mine some pebbles to make some arrows.
Whoa! Thank God I wasn't standing on that. Okay, so now that I'm finally back home, I can craft the Dragon Spire Weld portal fragment. So I'm gonna store it for safekeeping right here, but it's ready. So for day 100, we're hunting down that dragon. Okay, so I wanna build like a road actually from there to there. So I'm gonna be working on that for the next little bit, and then maybe a dock tomorrow if I have time.
I spent the next while clearing out my path. I filled in the path and then added some exterior illumination for increased vibiness. Day 98, I have some time to kill, so I'm gonna build a dock for aesthetic purposes. I'm just throwing down some pillars in the water and using slabs for the dock. I want to use rope for this dock, but Hytale said no.
Why can I not? Hold up, does this have to be connected to a block? That's dumb.
For science, I tried hanging the rope.
Why can I? What? Why can rope go down, but why can't it go up?
That's so dumb.
I'm going to try to pivot to chains instead.
Why do chains work, but ropes don't? I don't get it.
I put the chains down because for some reason they actually work. Now, there is something my dock is missing. That's right, boat. Which is why I'm borrowing some boats from the Quebecs. I'm sure they won't miss them.
Wait, can I not place the boat? Why can't I place the boat? Okay, idea. Maybe I can stack up a few blocks and okay, I can do that. All right, well, that's a little jank, but as long as it works, I don't really care. Hopefully one day these boats will actually be like, I don't know, usable.
With that workaround, I got the boats down and finished the build with some lanterns.
All right, so for now, I'd love to do more with it, but I have my little dock done. That just looks so complete, like my little estate. I'm really happy with how this has turned out.
Day 99 is the final day before we go find the dragon. So I'm heading to the Quebec trader to buy lots of salad. I need as many arrows as possible, so I'm obliterating this pebble beach. At home, I craft over 200 arrows and I make an adamantite bow for the journey. With that, I go to sleep on my final night.
All right, it's day 100, which means it's time to go find the dragon.
At spawn, I place down the fragment and begin.
A mythical beast sleeps here, bound in an eternal slumber. They're gonna... Oh, there it goes. Let's do this.
I'm now in the Dragon Spire Weld, but I'm fighting time to find this dragon, so let's get to work.
Wait. There's a lot of blue over here. Oh, wait. Is that it? Please be it. Yo! It's the dragon! Can I kill it? Oh, crap. I woke it up. I don't think it has... Okay, it doesn't have any behaviors yet, but man. Oh, no. I slid off the ice. It's okay, we're good.
With the dragon found, I take a quick screenshot and take in the scenery.
All right, it's my last day. I'm just enjoying some time, watching the sunset.
Hey, I hope you had as much fun watching the video as I did making it. If you enjoyed it and want to see more or want to have a say in what I do next, consider subscribing. And I'll tell you what, if I hit 1,000 subscribers from this video, I'll make a poll so you can decide what I do next. With that being said, it's getting nice out again, so go get some sun. See ya!